What is up, my hyperlinks? HMK here once again, and a big thing just got shown off by Game Informer. So I put it in the title and I make sure I blur the image, but guys, massive spoilers in this video. Yes, we're going to be talking about a little about the dungeons in Breath of the Wild. Now, first and foremost, we are less than 1,000 subscribers away from 100k. If I hit 100k before March, I will give away a Nintendo Switch. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. It has been unreal. And also, be sure to enter my existing Breath of the Wild giveaway where I'm giving away 3 copies. Everything you need to know is in the description box below. Alright, here we go. I already get my spoiler warning and everything. Let's do it. Game Informer just showed us a piece of concept art of the dungeon they went into with Breath of the Wild. Now, this definitely goes in line to what we saw in the Nintendo Switch trailer where Link seems to be in some sort of dungeon where it's moving around, because I do believe that these dungeons are the divine beasts, and you'll be able to attack, not tackle, but yeah, tackle 4 of them. But one thing I like to point out in this piece of concept art before I point out anything, look at it, it seems that Link in this concept art has the Master Sword already. I mean, he has his hood, he has the champion shirt, he has the Traveler's Shield, he has a bow, but he has the Master Sword and black pants. Black pants with black boots? Yo, I can dig that, I can rock it. But anyways, Game Informer showed off this piece of concept art. This seems to be the first room of the dungeon, and what they said about dungeons in Breath of the Wild is that they're not as big or as labyrinthy as dungeons that you see in Twilight Princess, but that's not a bad thing, because there's less areas for you to get lost in, and a lot of people complain about what certain dungeons from certain Zelda games that it was easy to get lost a bit because of how big and how labyrinth like it was. So these dungeons seem to be very condensed and streamlined, but still will be very challenging, because they said it's not like it's shallow or not hard. These dungeons are actually a totally different beast all their own. They did confirm there will be no compasses in the dungeons. The map in this dungeon will be rendered by the Sheikah Slate and will be rendered in 3D. So you'll be able to see how the dungeon works and how each room is, and it'll be marked of where you need to go and what you need to do. This dungeon was, of course, we already knew this, but it was infected by malice, which is like this liquid nastiness from the Calamity Ganon, which I assume that you'll have to, purge the dungeon out of. And that this dungeons, or I should say this dungeon, will not have a dungeon focused item, and the boss that you fight in, which is Windblight Ganon, will not be based around a dungeon focused item. And also they said the dungeon bosses, from what they played from this one, is very difficult, and you have to make sure that you have to be stocked up in full in terms of items, arrows, weapons, all that good jazz, because this guy will rock your socks off. So I'm very excited for this. Also, they said that this dungeon will incorporate crystal switches. You'll hear a voice in your head that you never heard before, apparently, that'll help you guide through the dungeon. And we did say this before, that Link will gain some sort of control over the dungeon, moving it around in order to access different areas through the Sheikah Slate by activating it on certain switches within the dungeon. So, like, basically, the Sheikah Slate reading device, you'll be able to toggle one of those using the Sheikah Slate in a certain room, and you'll be able to move the dungeon around so that you'll be able to access or navigate into further areas of the dungeon. Very similar to what we saw with the Sky Keep, I want to assume, that we saw in Skyward Sword, but in a very, I would say, in a better sense, because the Sky Keep, that was a doozy. We don't know how many dungeons will be in Breath of the Wild, but we do know these dungeons will they'll not be part of the Sheikah Shrine number. They'll be aside from Sheikah Shrines. We'll have Sheikah Shrines, we'll have dungeons, but we don't know how many dungeons. I want to assume 4+, but we don't know up in the air, and I really do believe there's going to be more than 4 main dungeons, but we will have 4 main hard dungeons in the form of the Divine Beast. That's what I assume, and then we'll have other dungeons along those lines, plus the Sheikah Shrine. So I'm very excited for this game. I want to know what you guys think about this concept art and about the information that we got of these dungeons and whatnot. Leave everything you want to say in the comments section below. I'll leave a link to the article so you can check it out for yourself in the description box, and be sure to subscribe to HMK. We're almost at 100k, less than 1,000 to go. Guys, let's get it. So guys, until the next Zelda video, I've been HMK. Stay hyped, and I'll check you guys later.